Scott Huddleston is the county government reporter for the San Antonio Express News. JJ Velasquez, the tech reporter from the Rivard Report, joins us as well on The Conversation Continues. Scott, you have extensively covered the drama surrounding the future of the Alamo and Alamo Plaza. What's new at the Alamo, and what can we expect in the weeks and months ahead?
Well, the land office and its partners in that project, the city and the Alamo Endowment, recently hired a project architect, an architect of record and a designer for the museum. And so it's possible that we could see some preliminary illustrations in October or so for what this thing is going to look like.
Now, last week, as you know, the departing or the now departed Alamo historian, Dr. Bruce Winders, was a guest of ours here on the Record. And he made an astounding claim that the reason he retired was because they weren't paying any attention to him in the long-term planning process. We have a $500 million improvement of the most significant historical site in Texas, and we don't listen to the Alamo's official historian? What does that tell us about what's happening with the plan?
A lot of questions that remain to be answered, but I do know that the Alamo Trust is putting out, they're seeking a new historian curator. That job listing has been posted on their website, on the Alamo website. And so hopefully they'll find someone with the skills and the astute ability to explain this complex site. But there's a lot more work to be done. And I think that Bruce has a great future ahead of him, speaking and writing and doing all of the things that he's knowledgeable about. And definitely I do feel that his talents were underutilized, but I do think that the Alamo plan will move forward. It simply has to.
One other question that's looming right now is the state of the Woolworth building. And there's a real strong movement toward including that in the plan as civil rights history. Is that doable, do you think?
Well, I think so, but we're going to have to wait and see what comes up out of these drawings that are released by this new design team that was hired to design the museum. And it is possible that they will include those buildings and keep them intact. That's one of the many issues related to this plan that is causing such a buzz.
JJ, we had the governor speak out on scooters this week after an individual was caught on video riding a scooter down the main lanes of an interstate during rush hour in Dallas, which got a lot of attention. It seems like interest is growing in having some sort of overarching rules covering scooters, just like we have covering cars. I mean, San Antonio has been trying for a long time, struggling to kind of come up with scooter rules. Where do we stand on that now, and what needs to be done in the coming months?
Yeah, so speaking of the state legislature, there was a bill that was introduced in this recent legislative session to regulate this nascent industry. It was proposing some very basic provisions, such as the speed limit and the roads on which these scooters can be ridden, and so that person that was riding on the highway would have been prohibited from doing so. I think according to Dallas's ordinance, they already are. So we'll see how that case plays out, but. So Governor Abbott came out and spoke out about this. It seems like the city's ordinance continues to evolve, and the city council continues to hear from their constituents that they are seeing more and more public safety issues around this. So as you know, the council agreed to put into effect a sidewalk ban so that scooters cannot be ridden on the sidewalk. But there are also, there remain the same issues around parking of these scooters because they clutter the sidewalks often. Now the city is hoping that with this reduction in the number of scooters from 16,000 or thereabouts to about 5,000, that problem will be alleviated by that, but we'll see.
JJ Velasquez covers tech and city government for the Rivard Report. You can catch his reporting then. And of course, Scott is a regular feature in the San Antonio Express News covering the Alamo and other issues. Thank you both for joining us on The Conversation Continues.